Hey everybody, Miss Loren again from the Westland Area Library here for Storytime. This Storytime is extra special because it is a story time during the Summer Reading Challenge, which is still happening. It is just all happening online this year. So in the description for this video, there will be a link to go to Read Squared where you can log in, sign up, log in, and enter all of your points for reading as normal. You can find that on our website or through our Facebook too. You'll get points for reading on your own, for attending our online programs like this one. You'll need a code word, which I will give you at the end, and that'll get you your bonus points. We're still doing prizes and raffles, and we're going to try our very best to make it as fun as possible for you guys. So of course, it can't be a Miss Loren story time if there is no story soup, and I am very, very excited because I have my cauldron and I have my vegetables. So we're going to go ahead and get started and see what ingredients we're going to add in here today. Let's start with one I know that you guys know, a green pepper. And what about an ear of corn? We have this little guy. It is an onion, and I know I've gone over it with my Storytime kids, but does anybody else know what happens when you chop up an onion? It makes you cry. And let's see, we've got a couple of these today too. They are potatoes. Now, we have a lot of potato fans out there, right? Especially in the form of French fries. And we have to have a red pepper too. This one's not too spicy. It's just a regular red bell pepper. I don't have our spicy pepper today. And lastly, this one might be new for some of you guys. It's kind of dark in the lighting, but it's supposed to be purple. And it is an eggplant. Good job. Well, I think that's all that I want to add today. So that means it's time to sing our story soup song, which of course we will sing 2 times for our new friends so they can join in. All right. We are making story soup. We're making story soup. Slow stir around we go. We're making story soup. We're making story soup. We're making story soup. Slow stir around we go. We're making story soup. All right, guys. Let's see what we made today. We have Ruby's Sword by Jacqueline Véissid, illustrated by Paola Zakimi. Ruby's Sword. We love pretty end papers, right? It's yellow to kind of match our ducklings behind us. Ruby's Sword. Ruby raced through a sea of summer grass after her brothers, their long legs leaping ahead. "Wait up," she called out. But only their laughter trailed behind like the tail of a kite, just out of reach. So her big brothers are kind of leaving her in the dust, huh? Or in the grass. Ruby flopped onto the ground, her heart thumping. A single cloud sailed across an endless blue sky. A warm wind rippled through the grass, bending blades and revealing something hidden. So the wind came by and moved the blades of grass and revealed something. Looks like some sticks, huh? Sorry, having problems grabbing the page. Swords. Leaping and lunging, swirling and swishing, Ruby felt invincible. She raised her sword and faced the fearsome dragon. Swish, swish. The dragon faded into a haze. Ruby gathered the other swords and marched off. So she saw a sword instead of just sticks because she's using her imagination. And speaking of imagination, definitely no dragon, but she was imagining that the clouds were a dragon. I found dragon fighting swords, she announced, slicing the air with lightning bolts. Her brothers jumped down to take a closer look. Ruby granted them each a sword. Two knights in battle, bold and brave. Click-clack, click-clack. Ruby watched. My turn, she shouted. Click-clack, click-clack was all she heard. Ruby stormed off in a cloud of dust and disappointment. So Ruby found something really cool, and the first thing she thought of was to show and share with her brothers, right? But then they didn't want to play with her. So she stormed off. Look at that grumpy face. The apples hung sky high, a royal feast. The ants were stuck creekside, loyal subjects saved. So she's going on her own adventure, right? She found a royal feast in the apples. She's helping to pick them. And then she helped her subjects, the ants, cross a puddle. The dirt needed decoration. So she took a break from it being a sword and is using it to draw. A sudden stillness filled the air. Swallows scattered, shadows faded. A rolling storm blanketed the sun. Ruby raised her trusty sword. So swallows are these birds. What do you think's happening? A big storm's rolling in, right? Ruby's got her sword, but I wonder why. The wild winds whipped, swish, swish. Rumbling clouds grumbled, swish, swish. Raindrops drummed, swish, swish. Ruby gathered all her strength, swish, swish. She's fighting the storm off. A mighty gust of wind blew a sheet off a laundry line. Ruby caught it with her sword. She began to build. Click-clack. Her brothers were curious. Can we help? They asked. Click-clack was all they heard. So she's doing something, making a tent, and her brothers came back around and they wanted to help out, but Ruby kind of ignored them, huh? Probably because they ignored her earlier. So they marched away and returned with some honorable offerings, twigs, rocks, and a handful of dandelions. And finally, their swords. So they're offering her some kind of gifts to make the peace, right? And they also offer her their swords. And together they built a magnificent castle. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. Perfect for sheltering many loyal subjects. So they used all three of their swords and that sheet to make a big castle for all of her loyal subjects. And 3 noble knights. So at the end, they all came together to work together to build something extra cool. And 3 noble knights brings us to our code word for our story time today, which is noble. So that is going to be N-O-B-L-E. And that is what you will enter into Read Squared to get your extra points for attending or watching, I guess, this story time with me today. So thank you guys so very much for joining us. If you have any questions about the Summer Reading Challenge being online, reach out to us on Facebook or give us a call. We would be more than happy to help. See you guys next time.